Hey y'all, it's your girl Millie Chan. Baby, I am fresh off of Freaknik, the wildest party never told. And I am ready to talk about it. Let's just get into it. First off, I want to say that I am very proud to have had this moment in time. And if you have seen this, you have seen just black people gathering together and having a great time. And sometimes we take it too far, and we did. But in its inception, up until that point, it was a great time. Shout out to the 1983 founders of Freaknik, Sharon, Emma, Monique, Maddie, and Tori. I appreciate you because what you did was just enriched our HBCU experience, because I had never seen that many people in my life or those things that happened in my life. Real talk though, this is definitely a legacy, right? Because they started in 1993. 10 years later, I was there. And it was fantastic. 1993 Freaknik was out of this world. It was really, and those of you who were there, high five, because I know you had a great time. Now, I was really focused on the 93, 94 parts of the movie. I was not in there, but I was in Piedmont Park. So it came from, when people went home for spring break and people who couldn't afford to go home. And they was like, well, let's get together and let's do something with the people that's here. So they cooked food. They had a gathering. They got money for it. It was sponsored. And it was great. Then the next year, nobody went home because people wanted to be a part of it, because they was trying to figure out, when are we doing this again? And they decided to do it on spring break. So they was talking about they wanted to bring back the freak, right? And not that kind of freak, but just like the song, let's bring it back. So they had everything themed around the word freak. And the way they got Nick on it was, from Picnic. And they just took the first part off and stuck it together, and we have Freaknik. And it's a wonderful thing. So they decided to go to Piedmont Park because that would be a place that's big enough. Everybody's been there. And they reached out for support, and people supported them. Then in 1989, Different World was on, and they heard Kimmy and Chris Summer, I forget her name, but they were talking about going to Freaknik because she had said too much to her mom, and her mother said she couldn't go. So that was really big because I remembered that. And so the founders were like, are they talking about our situation? And by that time, hundreds and thousands of people were coming on the third weekend of the month, right? Even these people. I don't know why this brought me so much joy when I saw when I saw Simone and Cecil, because I know this was fun in 1989. I know it was fun. She said this was the last year she attended, but Cecil has had a lot of fun all the way through. So when they got to 1991, they had Erica Sermon on there and Jalen Rose. And Erica Sermon was talking about how people, had to stop by this place called the Rim Shop, which was like a club, but people were stopping by rim shops to get rims because that was very important. Jalen Rose was so right. He was so on point. Like, you just went to Atlanta. You would figure out your sleeping situation once you got there. Where now, in this current time, I'm not going anywhere until I know that there's a room with my name on it. But then, $50 is all you needed, because I was eating on the McDonald's menu and everything. In 1993 is when the Daisy Duke situation took off. Luke got involved, right? And, that was some of the best times, y'all. Really. And I love that this is how we captured the moment. Like, there's no Instagram, there's no TikTok, there's no I got you and you worried about it being posted. If you didn't have this camera, then or either your disc camera or your long one, you still got it up here. Rashida was talking about the fashion because Merry Go Round was the big store. Jabot's, Crisscross, Oak Tree was a big store. what was it? Rayon? Rayon was the material. Oh my gosh. Dudes would wear rayon shirts with a print on it so fast, like they didn't even think about it. That was wild. Child, Jermaine Dupri is Atlanta. Like in 1992, 1993, that's when Crisscross had come out, Escape had come out, and music, rap music was being played on the radio. Jermaine Dupri is that guy. And it just never stopped. When Jermaine Dupri was on the road and he was like, this is the road right before you got to Piedmont, actually sometimes you could make it into the park or you was not going to make it into the park. But you were on Piedmont, you were on the road, and it kind of didn't matter. Like Jalen Rose said, people just park their cars, like, and you come back another day or you jump in the car with someone else. Like, it was a vibe. And in 1994, honey, this was the big one. Like, Outkast was coming out, and they had talked about, they put out their tapes. They had played Southern Playalistic on one side, and then on the other side, they would have little parts of all the other songs on the tape that they were coming out with. And everybody was playing it. And that was like promotion, right? I mean, it just didn't get any better than that. In 1995, they had rap on stations 24 hours a day. And then they talked about 1996 when Atlanta got the Olympics. And that's when it started tapering off, right? Because at that time, it had become political. Because Atlanta was going to be hosting the Olympics. You couldn't have all this going on out there. So things start to change. In 1998, there was a girl named Stacey Lloyd, and her purse got stolen, or her friend's purse got stolen. She wasn't even trying to be a part of this. They was just getting gassed. And she ran into the crowd, and there were 10 men who pulled her out of a car, and they were on top of her, and the only thing that saved her was a guy who yelled police. And she said they didn't scatter, but they just kind of moved out, right? And she said she couldn't believe that black men were really about to harm her like this. So in 1999, they decided to cancel Freaknik altogether. And at that point, they should have, because they had grown men showing up. And I don't know what y'all was there for, 30 and 40-year-old men. And grabbing on women and not listening to no and things like that. So that was good that they canceled it. But then they started it back up in 2023. Then in 2023, Carlos Neal tried to revive Freaknik. I feel like it needs to be left alone because you will never get 1983 to 1994 back again. That will never happen. Ever. Right? And I think you should just stick to what like 21 Savage did. He just had a Freaknik themed birthday party. That's where we are now. Because this world right here, we'll never see that again. Ever. And child, my knees ain't like they used to be. And I don't think I can get back in them dukes. But this was a great time. It's your girl, Millie Chun. And if you went, a time was had. Let's talk about it, y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.